I'll go over pretty well four main things on the farm, what to do, all the jobs, and how to do them the proper way. The first one is the milking process. A lot of farmers have rotaries. Now they're coming in with these new robotic ones, and they're self-maintained. Like, cow walks in, the milker goes on, milks the cow, the cow goes out. But the average farmer, they have a 8x8 piler, so they only can do 16 cows at a time. Where on our farm, we had a 32 rotary cow, and we could milk 400 cows in 2 hours. And cows come in, they go around the circle, and they go out. And with this process, there's always 2 people in the piler. One's putting the milkers on and cleaning the cows off, making sure they have no diseases like mastitis or anything. The other one's making sure the cows come in proper and leave, and spraying the cows' udders with iodine so they don't get infected. And then there's the afternoon shift where usually just one person does it. They'll get the food ready for the cows and feed them. And we use silage, barley, corn, hay, and wheat. And sometimes we order in beer mulch. So after the process of beer, we use the leftovers to feed the cows with it. And the worst part about the afternoon shift is you have these scrapers to clean the alleys, and they break down once in a while. And you have to clean them and get them running by hand, so you have to do the dirty work and go in there by hand. The other part about it is you walk around the farm and you make sure there's no cows in heat. And if there are cows in heat, you'll tell the people from the milking process so they can identify them and set them off into another pen so we can breed them. And in that afternoon shift, if there's cows that are pregnant, you make sure there's no newborns. And if there is, I'll go over the process after this one. Newborn calves. After the mom has calves, we usually let them clean them off a little bit, but you have to take the calf away as soon as you can, because we don't want the calf drinking from the mom. It can get the cow infected and others. It's not good for the milk process. And then we'll bring it to a separate pens where we have the calves, and we'll feed them colostrum from the mom still. In the milk process, the guys will separate the colostrum, and we'll use that to feed the calf. And the hardest part about this is you have to move the calf by hand. So you're picking up these slimy, wet things with your hands, and in the winter, it's not fun. You have them over your shoulder, then after, you're all wet, and you freeze. It's cold. But then, there's a guy who will be feeding the calves while the milkers are going on. Their job is they first bring in the cows so the guys can start milking. And then the piler, they'll have some milk left over for the calves. Depending on how old they are, we usually feed them on bottles for 2 weeks. And then we'll start them on buckets, a week of just milk. Then we'll go a week, half and half, milk and water. And then right on to water. And then after that, we move them to a pen where they can eat on their own and drink water on their own. Pros about the farm: you wake up to this, you're up at 3:30, you're feeding the calves, you're outside, the sun comes up. You're in a good mood. You get to see birds pretty well every day, natural birds. It's a cool thing to see. But the cons, don't get that much sleep. You wake up at 3:30, you usually get back inside at 8 or 9. You take a little power nap, something. By 1 or 2 o'clock, you'll get up. You go do the whole process again. And you're out of the farm by 8 at night. And you start to eat. By the time you go to bed, you only have roughly around 5 hours of sleep. And Monster Energies, you drink those a lot, stay away. So they're unhealthy. And if you're a family business, like we were, you don't get away from the farm. It's a 24/7 process, and you're stuck there. You can't rely on people because it's usually part-time works from high school we had, or we had a lot of Mexicans helping us, and it's hard to rely on instead. Any questions?
So you said used to be a family farm. What are you now?
We sold it 2 years ago. Yeah. Is that all?
How often, like, do you make the milk for the cows?
Twice a day, from 3:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m.
How many cows do you make?
We had a 400 cow dairy farm.
So what does the farmer do who's retired from milking cows?
My dad bought a farm dealership, so he's selling tractors now. That's what he does. Usually people, like I have a bunch of family friends who retire too, but they're just living life. Sell the quota and take the money and go.
Anthony, you said that usually you wake up at 3:30 and you finish till 9. So during high school, did you struggle with getting good marks and all that fun stuff, or were you just there till? Did you not do the morning shift usually?
I did them a couple times, but I would miss out classes. But I would tend to just do it on weekends.
Okay.
But during like Christmas break and all that, I would